Well, a 19-year-old learner who allegedly stabbed a fellow pupil to death will be making a formal bail application in the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court today. The learner from the Forest High School in Turffontein, south of Johannesburg, was arrested on Monday in connection with the fatal stabbing. Two other learners were also stabbed in the incident. The school reopened this morning, we understand. Our reporter Mahlako Komane is there and she joins us now live. Mahlako, thank you very much indeed for your time. Let's just recap in terms of what happened yesterday. Very dramatic and eventful day yesterday.
Yes, good morning, Blaine. It was really a dramatic day here at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. We had, three high-profile cases, if I can call it that. We had two rival gangs from Westbury that were appearing here. Well, two rival gang members from Westbury that appeared here, and a scuffle between the rival gangs broke out. Videos making way on social media. That also prompted the Minister Ronald Lamola, to visit the courts. He was here a few minutes ago, just also announcing that there were challenges in the system, and they're looking at ways to address this, and saying that it was an oversight from administration here to put the two members on the roll at the same day. We also had another teenager that appeared here yesterday, a 15-year-old that is facing a charge of murder. We'll remember in Monjo in March this year, there was a stabbing. Kulani Matebula was stabbed on his way to school. That learner is here. The NPA has then decided he will be standing for a charge of murder because he was a minor. There were decisions that needed to be made as to what type of charge will he be facing. He also appeared, and in the same courtroom we also had the 19-year-old suspect from Forest High School that what was his first appearance here yesterday. The state announcing there that they will not be pursuing a charge of premeditated murder, and also saying that they will also not be opposing bail in that particular case, saying that they've got there's nothing that they have at the moment that will give them reason to oppose bail, saying that he's not shown to be the young man is not shown to be a flight risk.
Yeah. Let's get some context with regards to this alleged stabbing by the 19-year-old. What do we know about the events that led to this incident?
We understand the MEC Lisufi said that when he did the briefing just outside the school on Monday, he said that he understood the briefing that he got from the school was that this was gang related between rival gangs in the school amongst the learners. You understand that the incident started on Friday, where there were disagreements between the two groups at the school, and on Monday the three learners that were stabbed, we remember one was fatally wounded when he was stabbed, and there were two that were then taken to the hospital. He announced to us that those three learners were not meant to be sitting for examinations at the school, but the accused, the 19-year-old grade 11 learner, he was the one that was there to write on Monday at the school and where the stabbing happened. He also then indicated next to the body, because we did not have access to go into the crime scene, but he said that there were weapons on the floor. That was also very concerning. Also making a pronouncement that they will be going back to the drawing table and seeing, though they have structures and systems in place to deal with such schools. Also mentioning that he had about 18 schools within the province that were a challenge for him. They were going back with their team. They were going to try and see how best they can work with those schools and those communities to try and face those challenges. But Blaine, can I just add as well, after yesterday's incidences, and as I mentioned earlier on, that we did have the minister come here to do a local inspection at the courthouse. I'm just going to step out of shot, and my cameraman Nukumalaji, he's just going to give us a shot of the entrance of the court. You will see that today we actually have two police officers and the security as well, searching people that are going inside the court. We didn't have this yesterday, and earlier on there was actually quite a long line of people standing in line to be searched. Also, the minister saying to us this morning that they had found weapons on some of these there's these alleged gang members from Westbury that had come here to support their fellow members at this entrance, and they then took those weapons away. So just showing that the beefing up of security that he's asked for is already beginning to happen. We know we are seeing a bit of a change in situation here.
So my experience in terms of covering court cases is that most courts in South Africa, when you enter, you go through a bit of a scanning machine, and you put your normal keys and cell phones across on the side of the table and then walk through. So you're saying this is different in terms of the physical search of a person?
Yes, you normally have a scan, and even here, I'm again going to just step out of the picture. There is a scan here as well. I don't know if Nuku can just zoom in for us. There is that scan, but now it's the physical search. You see there's a gentleman here that's also being patted down. That's happening. That was not necessarily happening yesterday when we entered this courthouse. And also we understand the minister saying that he's now declared this to be a gun-free zone. He says courts are gun-free zones. South Africans should feel safe when visiting the courts, and also just saying that there is a need for integration of systems here. The Home Affairs system, he was speaking in terms of fingerprints, that technology needs to help the system out. He spoke about integrating the departments of Home Affairs, South African Police Services, as well as the courts as well, to see how they can best help each other to make the court processes efficient and just that much faster and able to serve people.
Look, yesterday, with regards to this alleged stabbing involving this 19-year-old, yesterday I saw a statement released by the Social Development Department, really saying that they're concerned with regards to the latest incidents, and especially with regards to learner-on-learner violence. Is that the sentiment you're getting on the ground from parents that you're speaking to as well?
Parents are saying that they're really concerned with the flaring up of gang violence at schools. No parent necessarily wants to send a child to school and come back with a hardened criminal. But it's quite important to notice, we had Satu coming into the studio yesterday saying that communities also need to get involved. Children are not only children of the education system, but they're children of a community, and schools are also part of a community. That communities need to sit down, and we need to go back into the homes and try and find out what is it that is causing, this learner-on-learner violence, as you call it, being it starting from bullying, being it starting from being disorderly in class. But it was a situation that needed immediate community attention. But also on Monday when we were in Turffontein, the community members also saying that they need to call a community meeting. They need to sit down. They are very concerned about the school, saying that learners there can be seen during school hours drinking, playing loud music from the kumbis that bring them there, smoking and being disorderly, behaving in a disorderly fashion. That these were incidences that needed discussions, events that could not just be allowed to continue, but that something needs to be done. So it would seem that there is that need that people are saying for communities to sit together, from the parents. Your church is also saying it's also quite important and concerning what's happening in society.
Yeah, this incident obviously coincides with Child Protection Week this week, so these issues very much in the spotlight. Mahlako Komane, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Just coming to us live from Johannesburg.